Hey everybody, thanks for joining the channel. So I've pulled the all-nighter because I have to go to work today. And this is the Derby build out that I'm doing. I've got the main screen set. That's a junker that I bought. It's like a 42-inch I bought over at Goodwill for $42. And then I've got the main units, which this is pretty cool. Derby Owners Club is probably the most complex, one of the most complex SEGA machines out there. In here is the HDMI converter. Then we have the Jama card that talks to the Naomi systems. And then over in this area, I don't know if you can see this, I've got a 2-in-1 video card. So the 2-in-1 video card right there feeds into the converter and goes over to that TV. That's a COM board that talks to the card reader. We'll look at that in a second. This is the input-output board. Now it's not a JVS, it's a Jama. And it does use some of the same colors, but not the same. This is the Naomi 1, this is the main unit. I've got a few main units, as you can tell. Got some in the back over there too I've been working on. And then I've got even more in another room. So this is my workbench, what's been going on. I tested every one of these card readers. I got them on sale. I found 4 out of 16 that worked. And that's because I had to take them apart and put them back together. So that was a major job. You can tell the white tape is the double-sided tape that I have for the bezels. And I'll show you, I've got some bezels over here. Yep, those are done. So the bezels will go up on this area. And for those of you critiquing my shaky camera, I don't care, it's my video. And this is pretty neat. So I've been fueling the night with coffee. Got a couple of bloody knuckles too to prove it. And what I'm doing over here is these units have to be connected by 2 fiber optic lines, not Ethernet cables. And they do that because it's analog traffic and it doesn't get interference. So I've got this unit ready for the tape. And here's one of the things that I like to do, which I mentioned before. I said I would show it. And so what I do, I get the cabling. This isn't pulled yet, but I'll show you what I do. See what I'm doing? This is a 5-volt for that one lamp because they don't make a replacement for it. It needs to be 5-volt or it'll burn out. Everything else is 12-volt, as you can see. Okay? And then I've got player 1 down, player 1 right. I've got every button is labeled, and there's quite a few buttons in this, my friend. So take a look at the control panel. Pretty awesome, pretty slick. It's kind of a crushed pearl. You can't replicate that. There's not a vinyl that has it. It was specially made for this game. And then also what I have over here, I'll just show you how this is coming together. I've got a wire terminal. I have everything definitely labeled. It doesn't matter whether you're an experienced or a novice, because here's the thing. I've got Jama and I've got Naomi wiring in the same cabinet. It makes really good sense for you to do this, and here's why. A typical Jama, yellow is 12 and red is 5. In this cabinet, in this wiring block, red is 12. Okay, and yellow is 5. So they're reversed. And then your white is a ground, not a black. And that's typical of the SEGA Naomi harnesses. See that mess down there? And I had to do that for impedance reasons. You can run it on one power supply and pretty much overclock it, if you will. It does work, and I've been doing this for years, so it's okay. And I run those to a power strip for fire reasons, so that if it does draw too much, it'll just pop the circuit. Then I've also got, now I don't sell these, but this is what I'm testing with. This is a 60-in-1 card. I bought it on eBay, and the customer is buying the same board. So this runs 60 games, and then I have a Jama Harness that connects this board. This is a separate Jama harness, so there's two Jama harnesses. One is over here, right there, and another one is right here. And this one comes over, and you're starting to see all the cable management, and it powers and lights up this area right here. Super cool, okay? Got a nice little it's a high performance joystick, meaning that it doesn't break like the 4-ways, and it's pretty easy to grab. Kids like grabbing it and going crazy, so that's pretty cool. And let's see, what else do we have to do? This is the finishing marks, okay? I'm covering the corners and the sides, covered that before. So this thing is ready to be trimmed out. We're going to do the glass and the rest of it, but down here in the back, that's the Jama for the multi-game card and power supply that's separate. And then we use a separate power supply for the Naomi over here. Right there. Right there. So as you can tell, this is a fairly complex system. This is the COM board, and it feeds the card reader right here. As you can tell, these are cards. They are written to, it's called a magnetic ink cartridge reader, MICR. You'll see it in the SEGA documentation. And the Derby Owners Club has to have one in order to work. You can't play it without the card reader. So it's pretty interesting to see. Like this thing's been all over the world. I got it. These all came in from China, and they came off of Initial D systems, which have this weird faceplate. So I put a new faceplate on. And then I've got some carriages that go on top of this stuff to cover it, which are right here. So you lift it up, the card reader goes inside of them, you lift it up, you're good. And so that's pretty much what I've been working on. It's been a lot of work, you guys. I think the card reader carriage is over here, yeah. And that's what's going to go on this system. So as you can tell, I've really been at it. This thing's coming together. I'm hoping to finish it today and deliver it tonight. I've been playing it. It plays really well. It's got blue trim. I did this with a black and blue scenario where it's blue T-molding on top and then fancy black T-molding on the bottom. And when the panel goes on, it will cover, the bezel will cover from this area to this area. So a couple of pro tips I want to give you just to wrap up. Number one, if you use a wire terminal block, make sure to tin your wires. Don't leave frayed wires in a terminal block. Not a good idea. It's a big novice mistake. You see it all the time. So make sure that you're covered. All right? Then the next thing is you want to be sure that you're using tape appropriately. Okay, so I didn't overdo the tape, but I did it in the stress points. Corners are always a stress point. It's a fact. So regardless of what you're dealing with, if you have corners, make sure that you address them appropriately. So what will happen is the top will come on without screws. It will lay on here. It will create a bezel that covers this piece. And if you need to change the monitor, no sweat. You can use a number 2 screwdriver right there. And so it has a VESA mount in the back, a 19-inch, and the sound. Now, this is really a unique cabinet. These things take a long time to make. When I say a long time, 40 hours. I've been making these cabs since 2013. I'm the creator of the Derby Owners Club Frankenstein, which is 2 cocktail cabinets, or just 2 cabinets in general, holding all of the Derby Owners Club that used to be a 250. This thing was huge. It was 2 50-inch rear projections for 100 inches of viewing on the main screen. Now I've got it on 42 inches. Each satellite, they had 8 of these things, and they weighed 450 pounds. This one weighs 175, and it's built out of, particle board. The arcades were steel. When you shipped this thing, it weighed 4,500 pounds. So people just cringe at the bills they would get after shipping this stuff. Well, I hope this shows you a little bit about what I go through in the Derby builds. As soon as I've got the final trim out done and the glass on, then we're going to be good to go. So now I'm going to move on to the trim out, and that's pretty much it. Thanks for tuning in. If you like it and you're a Derby Owners Club or just a fan cruising my channel, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Have a great day.